Hey everyone, Geo here and welcome back to another video. So today, welcome back to r/EntitledParents. This is a subreddit that I haven't covered in a while. I don't even remember the last time I even covered it. Anyway, r/EntitledParents is basically a subreddit where, you guessed it, entitled parents stories are being told. You know, bitchy mothers, asshole fathers, you name it, they've got it. First story we have today is Mom Issues Enabling. My mother wants me and my brother to be co-powers of attorney. My mother enables my adult brother. He hasn't worked in years and lives with my mother, and he stays in his room all day and watches TV and plays video games. I live out of state. I don't get along with my mother or my brother because of his arrogance, and my mom treating me as a scapegoat. I don't want to be financially or legally tied to my mother or brother because of the risks. I told my mother I will not be her power of attorney caregiver or executor, and to get a second or third party power of attorney to handle her affairs. I sent her an email and texted her this. My middle-aged brother mooches off of my mother and has no income. Other family members are ganging up on me, mother's side, stating I should be her power of attorney because I'm the oldest, which is nonsense. One of them had the nerve to state that I should quit my government job where I have a seniority and a pension and a 57B and move in with my mother and brother to take care of them, risking my own future. Blocked those family members' phone numbers and on Facebook. I only talk to my mother once a week because of her harassment and guilt tripping. She has beginning stage dementia, and I will let the state handle her. I told her to get a third-party power of attorney to handle her affairs. I will get the state to handle her if she refuses. I don't talk to my brother at all because of his arrogance and refusal to get a job and mooching off of my mother. She treats my brother as a golden child, and me as a scapegoat. My mother feels entitled because she raised me to be involved in a toxic situation that she and my brother created, and I refused and set boundaries on her. I will not coddle and enable my brother. I don't talk to him at all, and he doesn't respect me. I refuse to live with them under any circumstances. I'm not going to allow my mother to take away my independence. I have been on my own for 20 years. I also told my mother that I am not financially supporting my brother. Good on you, OP. Good on you. Sucks about your mother's dementia, but good on you. Sounds like you lived a shitty childhood too. Next story. How/babysitter used me as an unpaid babysitter. I am a caregiver for a client, now former. The relatives of the client were away on a recharge trip, and this woman was staying in the house as a house/babysitter, and her young son was staying there as well. I knew her son would be staying there, but at no point was I ever asked or consulted of being a babysitter for her son. I was there for the client only, and the woman just up and left to go to her other job, leaving her son with me while I was trying to take care of the client. I was given zero instructions for him. She just zoomed on out of the door. It was impossible to leave the little boy on his own devices, as he was jumping off the stairs and trying to climb unsteady chairs to get snack cakes way up high he wanted. While he was doing that, I was running to the living room to keep the client from running outside, as the client knew how to unlock and open doors. During the time she was there, the client was left in the same clothes as the day before. Needed hair, teeth brushed, given snacks in bed. Big no-no. She drank a lot at night and left piles of dirty dishes and pans. I would have a dishwasher set up so all it needed to be was loaded and started. But she couldn't even do that. This and among a lot of other messes. This went on for a week. I tried talking to her and the relatives about it, but kept getting brushed off and not being able to talk about it to them. I documented everything the woman did regarding neglect of the client and excessive drinking, including leaving wine where minors could easily get it. And the relatives signed off on it without reading the documents. I know there's going to be a fun conversation here, but I'm just a little bit bitter and was forced into being a free babysitter for this woman who never asked or offered to pay me for it. Wow. Jesus Christ, OP. I don't know how you can deal with that stuff. Next story. Are anniversary gifts a big deal? Hi, so freshly 18 here. I have a little sister who is 14. My mother is 61 and has a habit of being very strict about manners, which I have been able to deal with for a long while, but I've been wondering if I am wrong in the situation or if she is just being entitled. Today, my parents are celebrating their 24th anniversary. Ooh, nice. By having a night at a hotel and having the Saturday to themselves. Because I'm 18 and unfortunately British, I am currently taking A-level, the major exams at Decided University, and am using a small amount of pocket money to study at coffee shops when I can, which is where I am right now, actually. This means I have a very, very little money, and I am no longer doing my part-time, and I put the rest in savings, all of which my mother is very aware of. So tell me why, about 20 minutes ago, I get a phone call from my little sister saying that my mother basically kicked her out of the house because she didn't get a gift for her 24th anniversary. And that she couldn't come back until she had gotten at least a card and some chocolates for them. Even though she knows neither of us have much money to spend on that sort of thing. What? We have never gotten my parents anything for their anniversary, and we barely got told last week that they were going away anywhere. I didn't even know their anniversary was this month. I am genuinely confused. I looked it up. A lot of people do it for the 25th, but never the 24th. If it was the 25th, I would understand. I know for a fact that we didn't miscalculate or anything because my mother's has 24th anniversary weekend on the family calendar and she doesn't make mistakes like that. Usually my mother would pull out the, oh, you're 18 now, you're expected to do blah 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 blah. But my sister is literally 4 years younger than me and she was targeted. Am I wrong to think this is ridiculous? Or is it something we were expected to do that they just never talked about? Apparently, my mother's words were, this is as important as a birthday gift. But if it was as important as a birthday gift, how come we never celebrate it as a family and my parents just go off on a brief vacay together? Because it's between you two, not us. Like, huh? Or if anyone has any ideas on why my mother is so suddenly fixated on the idea of an anniversary gift from us, that would be great too. Wow. My parents' 25th anniversary passed back in February, and I bought them dinner. It was a nice gesture for me because I don't think I have ever bought them dinner before. Well, I have, but not for an anniversary. But yeah, OP, your mom's just a bitch. I would say the C word, but I'd rather not, being that YouTube's guidelines would just kick me off. Anyway, I feel so bad for you, OP. Why do you gotta deal with shitty parents? Okay. Entitled father gets what after he harassed me? What the fuck? Hello! I am a longtime lurker in this sub, and I finally got a story to tell about this truly insane situation that unfolded at my job. I'm a 21-year-old girl, and a lifeguard at a very well-known rec center with so many locations across America. Safe to say, if I said the company, you'd know them. We have folks from all walks of life come into our pool to work out, do swim lessons, or just have fun. Generally speaking, we have very few issues with patrons because most of them have been coming in for years and know how the place works. Most people are receptive to the rules, changes, and enforcement, but there's always that one parent who will complain very loudly that they think the rule is stupid. While annoying, it's not a big deal. What is a big deal is creepy people. Unfortunately, with my job, no matter what your gender is, people will flirt with you or make unwanted sexual remarks set in your direction. There's a teenage boy who works with me that has a middle-aged woman call him jailbait. At my first job as a lifeguard at a resort, not the same location, I had a man say that I wasn't a lesbian. I think she meant lesbian. I just haven't had the right... Oh my god. And that my twin braids would be a great handlebars. At this job now, I've had a few comments that are unfortunate. I've walked on younger girls to their cars because I want to make sure they are safe. Generally repulsive behavior, but something like that just happened last week. I was guarding the pool while swim lessons were going on, and we closed our pool for said swim lessons to give our kiddos as much space as possible. Nice. So there was significantly less people than normal. One of my guards came to relieve me of my stand, and I walked to the edge of the pool and scanned the water, as my job entails. I sucked my tongue out at one of the little kids, and that's a habit of mine. I bent over to pick up a toy on the ground, but when I bent over, I heard a loud whistle come from one of the parents. Now, I'm wearing shorts that are pretty short, but because it gets really hot in the pool area, even though it's indoors, but it's nothing inappropriate. When I turned around, I saw this guy around 40 or 50 grinning at me like he was smooth. Then he said, "Damn, don't be dressing like that in front of the boys. They might get ideas." Mind you, the oldest kids here are like 8 years old. I turn around. "Excuse me?" The father, "You gotta know what I mean." "I don't think I do." "Your ass is hanging out of your shorts in front of the kids." "Sticking your tongue out?" Wait, let me rephrase that. "Your ass is sticking out of your shorts in front of kids? Sticking your tongue out? You're the bad girl, aren't you?" Obviously, I'm immediately uncomfortable and try to brush it off. "Well, I'm in my uniform protocol, and the swim instructors teaching your children are wearing even less." "Well, I'll forgive this behavior if you give me your number." I'm sorry, I had to add that. "I'm not allowed to take patrons' numbers for personal reasons. I'm sorry." "Come on, don't be difficult." "Sir, I have to continue watching the pool." He started to get visibly heated that I'm not accepting his advances. He stands up and approaches me. He's a bit taller than me, and part of me felt a bit nervous. If he was going to actually do anything, he was far away from the other parents, and we were close to the edge of the pool. Thankfully, we had gotten the attention of the swim instructors, many of which who were also lifeguards, so they were watching him. He cornered me at the edge of the pool and asked me, "So what's the real reason you don't want my number?" "I have a girlfriend, so I'm not interested." "Girlfriend? You're one of those then?" What an asshole. Then he tried to grab my rescue tube and yank me towards him. Thankfully, I had a tight grip and pulled it back towards me. The father stumbled forward, and I stepped out of the way before he fell into the water. Dude, when I tell you it's glorious, it was absolutely glorious. His shirt puffed up like a muffin. It was hilarious. The water wasn't that deep, like 3.5 to 4 feet deep, so he wasn't in any danger, but due to protocol, I jumped in after him and made him grab my tube. He looked at me, and I was bright red with embarrassment and anger, and I slowly dragged him over to the stairs to get out of the pool. And then, on the onslaught of insults started, he screamed at me that I was such a whore, a slut, a bitch, all the names you can think of. He even called me a few slurs just for good measure. He screamed that he was never going to come here again, and that his son would never finish swim lessons because of me. I honestly don't remember much. I tuned him out. My boss, one of the swim instructors, stopped in between me and the angry man and made me go file a report. He got kicked out and the mother came to pick up the son from swim lessons. The mom and the child were actually as sweet as can be. And she came to find me and apologize to me for her soon-to-be ex-husband's behavior. She actually sat and talked to me about their relationship drama, and that he had tried to do this multiple times in their relationship. Now she was going through with the divorce. It's absolutely crazy, and I'm so glad she's out of that relationship. It isn't all great, though, because of that report I had to fill. It took me about 3 hours. Would not recommend at all. But this is just your PSA to treat workers no matter what they are doing as people, and not as objects of your desires. Because getting sexually harassed at my job is not fun at all, no matter how silly I am about it in hindsight. Wow. Wow. Like I said at the beginning of this video, asshole fathers, bitch mothers. But the mother in this story was honestly really sweet. And it was just the dad that had the problem. My parents blackmailed me into not moving out, but also forced me to pay rent. What is the point of that? I'm a 20-year-old male, and my parents come from a very cultural Asian background, yet they were born and raised in Europe. They are not very cultural themselves. Both have degrees, educated, retired young, paid off home. Both got married at 20 and moved out within the same year. I'm 20 and currently in full-time education. At 18, I was going to move out for uni, but being a little more naive back then, they guilt-tripped me into staying with them. They told me I'd struggle since I'd have to juggle work and studies and paying rent and having other costs, which is true. They told me they made my life easy by letting me focus all my time on my studies and not having to work. I accepted that offer, not knowing their true intentions. Fast forward to now, 2026. They want me to get a job and pay them rent. They want around £200 a month. No, €200 a month. Is that pound? Whatever. I already pay for all my clothes, food, phone, driving lessons, medications. I only rely on them for the roof and nothing else. Basically, I feel betrayed now. I stupidly brought up wanting to move out after uni casually, and it blew up into this big thing as if I committed a crime. At the time, I didn't realize that they viewed it so negatively, when to me, it was normal and expected of me. I guess in their mind, I would stay with them forever. They built a whole life for me in their head and thought I would just follow along with their ideas. My life is just to benefit theirs. So now they constantly talk about this one incident of me mentioning moving out whilst demanding rent. My parents threaten to kick me out if I don't pay rent, yet also want me to stay with them no matter what. If I'm taking advantage of this dynamic right now, I simply refuse to pay them. First, they lied to me about having to pay them. Then they don't want me to move out. But they threaten to kick me out if I don't pay them? Basically, everything I do should be in their favor. If they kick me out, it works for me. But they also won't, since they don't want me to leave anyway, laugh my ass off. I'm also the youngest child, and in their culture it's expected for the youngest to stay at home and work, take care of the parents' bills, and every other domestic issue, and just to live there forever. I'm realizing they've had this plan for me since I was born, and now I'm growing resentment for them. My older sister moved out years ago. They paid for her car first month, and the 2 homes she rented so far, furniture, wedding, anything you can name, essentially supported her independence in leaving home. It's weird because they uphold these traditional values only for me. They'd be moral when it comes to everyone else, including my sister, sorry. But don't mind keeping me as a captive slave, and only me. If I don't meet their expectations, they will emotionally and psychologically abuse me to the point I have to leave the house for an entire day to clear my mind, which happens often. Oh, and another thing. If I wanted to get married, they would choose someone for me. They expect whoever I marry to live with them and take care of them too. Not even I want to. The entitlement is off the charts. They will also quite frequently refer to themselves as my God. This isn't an exaggeration. They quite literally call themselves my God. Will explicitly say they own me in all sorts. I have 3 years left of this university and I don't know how much longer I can cope. My plan is to finish my studies, save, and then leave as early as I can, and even that won't be easy. I would just need to leave or tell them once I've already left. The only issue is that because my parents are retired, they're home 24/7. Don't go out, have no friends, they're always downstairs watching TV. When I think of the day I leave, I can't even think of an escape plan since they're always on guard. Holy shit, OP. Wow. Your parents just want you to stay home. I mean, I've heard people say, yo, stay home as long as you possibly can. But in your case, OP, I'd move out as soon as possible if I was in your shoes. Especially with parents like that. Treating you like they own you. You just need to sprout your wings and go away. Like your sister. Last story. My mom requires my location to live with her. I am 31 years old and live with my mom to pay off debt and tuition. The job market is rough and this makes my life mostly easier except for the fact that she requires my location to stay with her. It's been this way since I was a teen. When I was younger, she put the tracking device on my car. No surprise. I'm not the most mentally stable person because of this. I feel like a child being on this situation, but I'm trying not to lose my cool as I plan to move out quietly soon. When I lived in New York in 2021, I would periodically turn off my location, and she'd freak out on me. Blew up my phone, non-stop texts, and threatened to call the police. When I didn't reply right away, she'd make crazy claims. One being that my brother's dog, who we raised together, had died. He didn't. It's wild to me that I'm even living with her again. But I'm hoping it won't be too much longer. Nothing has specifically blown up recently. I'm just feeling a lot of resentment. As you could imagine, requiring my location is just the tip of the iceberg, and I don't want to overwhelm this post. Jesus, OP. Most of these parents are pretty controlling in this video. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened. But most of these parents are pretty controlling. Anyway, that's about it for this video, guys. If you'd like to click or tap that like button and subscribe to me, subscribe to my incredible editor, Autumn River, for more content from both of us. Even though she hasn't uploaded in probably a couple of years, but at this point, Bronwyn, you need to upload to your channel, seriously. Anyway, also follow me on my Instagram, my Blue Sky, and my TikTok for other stuff, and also don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, which is just my first and last name. All of that will be in the description of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you all to death, and don't forget to stay positive to the Pride Lands End. Bye.